When it comes to investing in Pokemon, it appears that booster boxes are the way to go. They tend to double, triple, even quadruple in price over time as they age, and depending on what cards are in it and the difficulty level of pulling these cards make the difference in what these prices are. Today, we're going to be diving into the top 5 booster boxes over the past 3 series between Sun and Moon and Scarlet and Violet. Of course, Scarlet and Violet won't be making too much of an appearance today. You'll probably see a lot of Sun and Moon, and you'll probably see a cameo of the Sword and Shield era as they start making their way into the top 5. And to be quite honest with you guys, I don't even know what the top 5 is over the past 3 series or the past 8 years, if you want to call it that. So I'm excited to see that as well. So let's kick it off with the 5th most expensive booster box over the past 8 years, Evolving Skies. And yes, Evolving Skies is the last place from this video. It's the first time I'm talking about Evolving Skies as being the last place product out of the products that I usually talk about. And we all know how amazing this is. We all know the chase card, Moonbryon. It's an amazing set. It is one of the best sets over the past few years. And it actually had a bit of a dip over the last couple of months, and we were seeing it around a $700 booster box. We went all the way down to about $629. I think there was a little bit of market manipulation or whatnot, a little correction if you want to call it that. But now we're back up to $690. This is the best Sword and Shield booster box. So of course, we're probably not going to see anything else from Sword and Shield in the top 5, but it is something that we want to consider investing in, even though we're at the $700 mark. And you'll see why when we start to look at some of the Sun and Moon products. And looking at some of the recent sales on the Evolving Skies booster box, mind you, these are auctions as well. You're looking at anywhere from $800 to $870 Canadian, roughly around what the US dollar mark is on this one. So it is an expensive booster box. It is the top from Sword and Shield era. It is one that I would still consider investing in right now. So Evolving Skies taking the number 5 spot over the past 3 series or past 8 years. So now we're getting into the Sun and Moon era, and Unified Minds takes the number 4 spot, going for about $711. It is only about $15 or $20 more expensive than Evolving Skies. So we may see Evolving Skies overtake this at one point. This booster box came out in 2019. So yes, it is about 5 years old now, is getting older and older. And it looks like it's one of those booster boxes that are one of the more preferred ones from the Sun and Moon era. Some of the recent sales on this booster box as well, we're looking anywhere from $930 to $960, call it $1,000 with the shipping as well. So it is up there in price, and yes, it's selling for more than the Evolving Skies booster boxes. But again, this could be just due to what we're looking at right now with the data that was provided to us online. This could change, of course, very rapidly with what the booster boxes are going for. And just for curiosity, I was looking at what the number 1 card is, and it's actually Misty's Favor. Now, mind you, it's not 127. This is for a moderately played card, that is. So if it was a near mint or mint condition one, it would probably go for around $190 or $200. It actually beats out Mewtwo and Mew tag team card. It beats out the Mew and Mewtwo card. It's amazing. And we're going to see a lot of the waifu cards actually come in the number 1 spot with these sets from Sun and Moon, which is very interesting actually. So Misty's Favor is the number 1 card from Unified Minds, and Unified Minds takes the number 4 spot in the last 3 series. And in the number 3 spot is Celestial Storm at $734. Again, only a few dollars off the Unified Minds and a few dollars off of Evolving Skies, so there could be a change between these guys at one point. This one is a little bit older actually. This one came out in 2018, so it's about 6 years old. It's really up there. Looking at some of the recent sales on this one, very similar to the Unified Minds booster boxes as well. We're looking at between $850 to $1,000 depending on when and how you bought it, if you got it in an auction or if you bought it straight up for sale. The shipping's pretty high as well, and these ones about $75. And this is what the price is for Celestial Storm booster boxes. It is what it is. The number 1 card in this one is actually Lysea. Again, another waifu card makes the number 1 spot. Interesting enough, there's other cards in this one that I thought would have made it, such as Rayquaza, but I guess it didn't. I mean, it is what it is. She's a cool looking girl. There's another Lysea card probably coming up soon with one of the newer sets that we're seeing, so watch out for that one. If this one's going for $285, I could only imagine what that one would be going for. So Celestial Storm takes the number 3 spot in the last 3 series. And taking the number 2 spot is Cosmic Eclipse at about $900. It's right up there and close to that $1,000 mark. It's the closest one to the $1,000 mark, and it takes the number 2 spot. Of course, this set has a number of cards that are amazing in it. We'll look at that in a moment, which one takes the number 1. But for recent sales on this one, we're looking at around $1,200 Canadian for this booster box, which makes sense, of course, after you look at conversion. About 900, 1,000, add about $200 or $300 to that, which is what you'll get, about $1,200. So it is selling for what the market price is. And the number 1 card from Cosmic Eclipse, going for about $195, is Rosa. It's not a Pokemon card, so 3 sets in a row where the waifu card makes the number 1 spot. And we're seeing that happen again if you really look at it from the Sword and, not from the Sword and Shield, from the Scarlet and Violet era, where a lot of the waifu cards are starting to creep up into those top 5 spots within their sets. So something to really think about when we look at Scarlet and Violet. Maybe they'll do really well in about 5 or 6 years, who knows. But Rosa is the number 1 card at about $195, and Cosmic Eclipse takes the number 2 spot at $900. And the number 1 spot goes to Team Up, and this one is going for about $2,400 US. It is insane, and it is definitely and I don't want to say the Evolving Skies, because it should be the Team Up. Evolving Skies should be called the Team Up of the Sword and Shield era, but it looks like Evolving Skies has the same type of energy as Team Up. This set does have a lot of cards in it that are amazing and pretty up there in price, which is what's jacking up the price of this booster box, which again, I keep hinting at why Evolving Skies may get jacked up at one point. And the recent sales on this one are pretty high up there as well. We're looking at around $3,500 to $4,000 for this Team Up box in Canadian dollars, that is. It's a little bit up there, a little bit more expensive, I would say, than the US price. And it's pricey. It is pricey. If you're looking at some of the chase cards here, though, they are very expensive as well. Just to look at the list here, we've got the Latias and Latios GX at about $850. We've got Gengar and Mimikyu at $300. Then we've got Magikarp and Wailord GX at another $254. So a lot of cards here that are above $100, and even one of them that's around that $800 mark. It's quite insane. I actually pulled that Magikarp and Wailord GX card way back when I was just kind of trickling back into Pokemon, and I had no idea that it was going to be a top 3 from Team Up, and it is a top 3 in Team Up. In fact, a PSA 9 is worth the same, but if you had a PSA 10, it was going for around $600 or $700 from what I remember. The point I'm trying to make here is that Team Up has a lot of cards that are very pricey, which is probably what's supporting the increase of the price of the booster box here. Personally, I mean, if I had the money, sure, I would get one, but it's quite up there in price, and I think it's a bit out of my reach at this point. So Team Up from the Sun and Moon era takes the number 1 seed from the last 8 years, and I think we all can agree to why that is. So that was the top 5 over the last 8 years, or the last 3 series. Let me know in the comments section below which one of these sets was your favorite, or which one of these sets you heavily invested in or are considering investing in. And if you like this content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. My name's TRV, and we'll see you next time.